And we are live. What's good, everybody? It's your man Dale saying, how y'all feeling out there? How y'all feeling? Let me see if I could get back to what I'm supposed to do. Y'all know it's been a while. Y'all know it's been a while. Moving slow on these on the ones and twos. I've gotten so rusty. I haven't been going live as much as I would like. Um, I just been busy. Just been real busy. It's all good. It's a good thing. Um, I'm rock I'm rocking the Elena's Cigar Lounge, Elena's Cigar and Hookah Lounge. That's my man Will Ghostin Cigar Bar here in Tampa. If you're ever in the Tampa area, make sure you check them out. I'll make sure to I'll begin to link in the description. I'll put a link into Elena's Instagram and maybe even their website, so you come check it out, man. It's definitely good times. It's growing up. It's everything you want. If you're an old head like me and you've just been looking for a place where you can go just kind of silk it, chill, be around some good people, this is the place. And it's also where we film um, our podcast. Will Ghostin has a podcast. It's called Spoken and Smoke. I'm the producer and co-host. So we're building up content now, and yeah, we'll be ready to premiere pretty soon. Give us another month or so. Coming real soon. So when we drop that, I'll definitely let you guys know where to go see it. So hopefully you guys come over and support Will. He's a real good guy. Will Ghostin, for those who don't know, 12-year NFL professional football player here in America. Hardworking brother, real cool, Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Only team he ever played for. Just a solid, loyal dude, very, very humble. And it's my honor to be working with him. So that's what's going on there. But today, I wanted to talk about this a week ago when I first heard about it. But now we definitely got to talk about it. Alligator Alcatraz here in Florida. And this is a detention center for people who are being deported, who are here illegally, undocumented, however you want to state it. This is supposed to be a holding facility for those people. And, bro, I mean, this might be a little bit overkill, man. Anyway, let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed. Shout out to Shoo. That's who made the intro and outro, and brother Grios who filmed it down in Miami. Man, I still like that. It's the first intro outro. I want to keep that for a while. Eventually we'll probably add to it. Maybe do like an extended cut or something like that. But man, shout out to them. Shout out to y'all for checking me out and rocking with me. I know I've been MIA for a minute from the lives. I do the uploads from the car. But I know I've been missing from the lives, and I do enjoy doing them. So like I said, we're going to try to do at least once a week. We're going to try to up it to 2, maybe 3 times a week. We just got to see how the schedule flows and how everything, kind of rolls out. But I want to get back into the swing. I want to get back into it, man. I want, eager to hear you guys' comments on the things that are going on and what we're talking about. Man, it is crazy out here, man. So much going on. So much that's in the news, so much that's not really making the news. Sean Combs, jury is out for deliberation. Apparently, I think it's 5 counts, but the most serious count was the racketeering, the RICO. They can't come to a verdict on that. It seems like they came to a verdict on all the other ones. I'm waiting for the final verdict to come down because I'm curious. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with dude. No doubt in my mind, he's guilty of what he's accused of. No doubt in my mind. But, what's going to stick, what's not going to stick. And, here's the wild card, the draw 4 card floating around. Will he just pay the current administration for a pardon. Just cough up $5 million or whatever he needs and get out. It's a federal case. Donald Trump can pardon him. So we're going to see how that plays out. And we're going to talk about this Alligator Alcatraz. There's a local news affiliate, I think it's down in Miami. They did a really good job of covering this for now. And from what I understand, there may be people in there already. There may be people in there already. This isn't the greatest idea, in my opinion. And we'll get into as to why, when this goes, and it's funny too. When you ask the average American about the illegal immigration thing, I like 75% of Americans agree if you're in this country illegally, if you enter illegally and you get caught, you should be deported. That's what people agree. But no one is signed up for this. Like, this is just over the top. And then when you think about the campaign rhetoric, it was like, oh, we're going to round up all of the bad guys, the undesirables, the criminals, the people who are here breaking the laws. We're going to go get them. Okay. I think what happened is they got a lot of them, and they realized there are not as many criminals and bad guys in this country illegally as they thought. My whole thing with this is, hey, if you're in the country illegally, you've been under the radar for, 15, 20, 25 years, whatever, and you get caught, they should send you back. But there shouldn't be any dragnets. Like the stuff that I see that's going on now, I think it's overkill. Like rolling up at Home Depot or going on job sites or going to, food truck locations, going out to places like California and, just kind of doing what they're doing. I don't think that's necessary. I mean, all you have to do, the federal government already knows who's here illegally. There are a lot of people who come into this country, they're undocumented and they're working. And what they do, because it's a federal law, you have to pay taxes. What they do is they apply for, or is it an ITIN number or something like that? So it's basically an identification code that the IRS will give you so you can pay taxes, but you don't get any money back from what I understand. Like, you pay your taxes, but you don't get to, get any of that money back. Now we have to I'm gonna have to find someone who's a pro, like an accountant or something like that, could really run that down, or someone who understands that law. But I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, they're paying. And the biggest thing is the government knows. They have your information. So the government can just roll up on you when they want. They can come see you quietly, like, hey, tap you on the shoulder, like, come with me. Instead of getting the urban tanks and all that and doing all the craziness, man. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy the way they rocking this. We got Brother 90s in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you. How you feeling, fam? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by, bro. We over here about to talk about this Alligator Alcatraz down here in Florida. I think I know the airfield in which they used to set this up. They're not naming it. They're not calling it by name, so I'm not going to call it by name. I think I know where it is. I can definitely find it on a radar map, like the radar display when I worked in Miami. But I'm going to ask some of my people down there and see if I can verify, like, yo, is this such and such? I know the identifier, know everything, but I want to make sure. And if it is, that will definitely have an effect on air traffic, but like very minuscule, nothing real. It'll just make some pilots upset that they can't go out there and do some practice work, because I'm pretty sure they'll shut all that down, or have already shut all that down, to have this, facility built. So let's get into it, man. Let's check out what the news is saying about this spot. I'm going to pull it up right here, bro. I got it loaded up. Let's see what the news is saying about this, man. And this is one of the local affiliates, and I think they did a really good job. So let's check this out.
Now at 4, inside Alligator Alcatraz. Today, President Donald Trump took a tour of the controversial new immigration detention facility in the Everglades. This is a place they say is meant to keep migrants who've been detained before they're deported.
And that facility can hold about 5,000 people inside of it, but not everyone is happy with the facility's purpose or its location. West 2 News anchor Stuart Moore live outside that facility now. And Stu, the first inmates could be housed there very soon.
That's right, Nancy. The first inmates could be brought here sometime today. We have been told by the governor's office, not sure exactly the time that could happen or if that's actually going to happen today. But just behind me is this facility that's now known as Alligator Alcatraz, that nickname given by representatives here in Florida. Earlier today, President Trump arrived here at around 11 o'clock this morning and was greeted on the tarmac here at the Everglades Airport by Governor Ron DeSantis. Now, the two were pretty cordial and direct, but very much aligned on the policy of detaining and deporting millions of people who are in the country illegally. Trump toured the facility known as Alligator Alcatraz that was constructed in just 8 days. Governor DeSantis used an executive order to seize this property located just off the Tamiami Trail. Now, President Trump praising the action, saying no other state has done more to implement his deportation plan than Florida.
You know, again, I think this is overkill. They threw this together in just a matter of days. It's to me, it screams a money play. Like someone's gonna make a whole bunch of money off of this. To say that, like the state of Florida is building this facility to house undocumented migrants who are getting caught up in these sweeps. Does that mean that they catch someone in Ohio, they're going to fly them down to Florida to house them in this place? And then they're saying it can house between 1,000 and up to 5,000 people. Does that include women and children? Like, normally we hear this, we're thinking men. Like, is they gonna house men, women, and children? The Florida sun is brutal. Like, what are they doing as far as, are they gonna like have AC down there? Like I got so many questions. And the big thing is like, it's going to be escape proof because it's in the swamp and there's nothing but alligators out there and gigantic pythons and stuff like that. It's like, bro, I mean, people can get there. It's not like it's out in the middle of like the San Francisco Bay, right? The real Alcatraz was considered escape proof until 3 dudes escaped, right? So I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's known as Alligator Alcatraz, which is very appropriate because I looked outside and it's not a place I want to go hiking anytime soon. But very soon, this facility will house some of the most menacing migrants, some of the most vicious people on the planet. We're surrounded by miles of treacherous swampland, and the only way out is really deportation. And a lot of these people are self-deporting back to their
Or someone can pull up in those airboats, those swamp boats or whatever, and pick their folks up and get them up out of there and take them to a vehicle and drive them off to, points unknown in America. This thing was just thrown up in a matter of days. How many, like, what are we looking at as far as security? What type of experience will these security operators have? Who's responsible for what? Like, what are the rules of engagement? Is lethal force authorized? If so, by who? You know what I'm saying? It's like this. I got a whole bunch of questions. Stuff like this, when you just throw something together like that, to me, it just screams somebody figure out a way to get some bread, man. I wonder how much this costs.
their country.
Now, Trump stayed here at the Alligator Alcatraz for that part of 2 hours, taking the tour and then obviously also being a part of that roundtable discussion with the governor and other representatives. For his part, Governor Ron DeSantis is calling on this other state leaders to do the exact same thing that Florida has done in this situation. Reminder, this place initially could hold about 1,000 people. They can ramp that up to 3,000. Another 2,000 people will be held at a National Guard facility that's not far from here. The governor says that can also expand as well as the need base continues to grow for ICE detainees. Now, it will cost taxpayers $450 million a year. That will
There it is. $450 million a year. There it is. Right there. Somebody just hit a lick. Somebody just made a ton of money. Possibly. This is like this administration, you know what I'm saying? They're known to renege on some stuff. So they ain't got no problem reneging. But somebody, the state of Florida, made an investment to put this facility together. $450 million a year, and that estimate came from, I believe it came from FEMA. I think they'll put it up in a minute. We'll see where they got that number from. $450 million annually to run a facility that was set up with fencing, some barbed wire, and a bunch of trailers. Like who's going to bring in the food? What type of food? Will there be medical staff on hand that's going to handle stuff? Again, will they have women? Will they have kids? Like, female bodies need a lot. When you're going to hold females, it's just things that the female body, the human female body does that needs help. Men and women are different in that aspect. How are you going to house them? Like, how many men can you hold? How many women can you hold? How many minors can you hold? Are you going to hold minors? Will people have an opportunity for like PE? Like, can you get out there and like do some physical training, like some PT? Again, food, what type of food will you be served? Like, what type of meals will be available? Who's going to, $450 million, bro, 450 million. So just if whoever got this contract and whoever got the government to sign off, the federal government to sign off on this, if that person who put this together only gets 10% profit, what's that? What's that, $45 million? Is that right? Man, yeah, it'd be $45 million. Bro, so if you're just walking away with a 5%, whoever put this together is stacking cash with, who gets legal, who's responsible for this? Like, legally, who's on the hook? Man, this is why if you got money, you keep money, bro.
Will be taken on by the federal government, who will be picking up the tab. Of course, coming up in our next half hour, you're going to hear from people who are against this facility, not only for reasons of environmental, but also because this is their homeland. This is where their families were uprooted and stay just down the road from here, because this place is also obviously known as a place that's full of nature, with alligators and panthers and other wildlife here. But people still do live in this community. You're going to hear from some of those protesters coming up in our next half hour. Reporting live in South Florida, Stuart Moore, West 2 News.
But dang, man, they were talking about $450 million.
Their
and that
homeland.
was
This
to
is
be
where,
reimbursed by FEMA. $450 million for this. There's going to be reimbursed by FEMA. FEMA's being defunded. There are massive cutbacks on FEMA right now. And you don't believe me, as the people, in Georgia and South Carolina, right, who is still dealing with Hurricane Helene that came through there. There are people who've been trying to get money from FEMA, and FEMA's been dragging their feet. So FEMA is one of the departments that was targeted by Doge. So where's this money going to come from? So I'm a citizen of Florida, right? That's the state that I'm in. Are we on the hook here in Florida until someone comes and until the government money kicks in? So does the state of Florida have to pay for this until the feds kick in? PBS covered this as well. I want to bring up the PBS broadcast to see if they maybe answer some of them questions. I mean, I don't know if anyone's had a chance to ask. I don't know what the process is. I mean, there's so much legal exposure. There's so much going on with this that, bro, just makes you shake your head. And again, bro, I'm all for, if you catch someone breaking the rule, and if you're in this country illegally, if you entered America illegally, you broke the law, right? I don't care what they say on The View. That lady, Sunny, I don't know what she was talking about. It's illegal to be in this country, to enter this country illegally, right? So if you did it and you here, all right, and you get caught, then yeah, you should go through the process, get deported, deal with whatever you have to deal with. That's just them the rules. But this, like I said, this is just overkill. This is just too much. This is just too much. At a time now where federal funding is under attack, so FEMA might not have this money, bro. point blank period. FEMA might not have this money. Let me see. Let me pull this up, guys. You can check this out. I tell you, I wouldn't want to be the guy who put up the bread, but I guess, scared money don't make no money, I guess. So you got to take that chance. And historically, people like, hey, the federal government, FEMA, they'll come through with this money. We're doing this to help out the feds. Who knows what Trump's going to do? And Trump and DeSantis don't get along anyway. So I don't think that he would have a problem talking about the president. I don't think he would have a problem blowing DeSantis off and just saying, well, Florida did it, just keep paying us. Because once you open this thing, are you obligated to keep it open? I got so many questions, man. So let's check out this PBS broadcast, guys. Just, like I said, maybe they can answer some of these questions.
As Republicans try to push through their big bill that would inject billions of dollars into President Trump's deportation campaign, the president today visited a new detention center in Florida. The facility, dubbed Alligator Alcatraz by local officials, is located at an airport in the Florida Everglades and is set to hold up to 5,000 beds.
We have a lot of bodyguards and a lot of cops that are in the form of alligators. You don't have to pay them so much. But I wouldn't want to run through the Everglades for long. It will keep people where they're supposed to be. This is a very important thing.
Our White House correspondent Laura Bruin-Lopez joins us now with the latest. So, Laura, what should we know about this new facility?
So this facility is located in the Florida Everglades.
Just want to take a pause for the cause because Shorty is fine.
Holla, 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 holla.
Come on, you say holla. You say, what is it? You don't say holla, holla, holla. You say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. She's cute, but she's married. It is what it is. I'm an old man. I can look.
Everglades on an isolated 39-mile airstrip. Now, people detained there will be in tents to start, with plans for a more permanent structure to be constructed later on. Now, a DHS official told us that they will immediately start holding some 500 to 1,000 beds. And as early as this month, they are trying to hold some 5,000 beds there. The operational cost is expected to be about $450 million for a single year, with the state of Florida paying that up front and then being reimbursed by FEMA and Homeland Security. Now, environmental groups have already sued the administration to try to halt construction. But the president again today floated the idea that he wants more facilities like this. He wants to open the original Alcatraz to detain people, saying in a social media post that he's looking to rebuild Alcatraz prison, sitting high on the bay, surrounded by sharks. What a symbol that could be.
And the
all these ideas, man, when Trump's first administration, I believe when he had these kind of ideas, he had real people around him, like serious individuals around him, like, no, we can't do that. And here are the first few reasons off the top of my head before we get into the real. But now he doesn't. He's surrounded by a bunch of yes people. So anything he says, they're like, okay, let's do it. Like, oh, let's build a holding facility on the moon. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things, like, he doesn't think this stuff through. I've been to Alcatraz. The amount of money you would have to spend just to get Alcatraz up to current code in 2025 would make something like that undoable. Like, it's they haven't changed anything at that facility. It's a museum. It's a museum. So that doesn't make any sense. Now, I guess the answer to my question is, where's his money going to come from? I guess the big, beautiful bill had carve-outs in there for his deportation plan, like the current government deportation plan. So it must be money in there for that coming from FEMA and Homeland Security. So, okay. So I guess there's a budget, but $450 million a year and Florida has to pay that money and just wait to be reimbursed. So does that mean that Florida has to spend $450 million, or whatever they spend up to $450 million, they're going to be reimbursed? Because we saw a couple pictures. There's nothing permanent there yet. So if you're going to build permanent facilities, that's going to have to be built. And every government works the same, be it state or federal. All that gets contracted out. So you're going to have to get contractors to come down there and build whatever buildings you need. Contractors are going to have to come down there to put in surveillance equipment. I'm assuming they have surveillance equipment there. They have to have surveillance equipment there. You're going to need, the guards and everyone involved with that, like the administration, people doing paperwork, like I said, the medical staff, everything. That's all going to be contract work. And then I wonder what certifications are going to be needed. There's just so many questions, bro. Like because this is moving so fast, it's just like, okay, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen?
Administration is pushing other states to follow suit to open facilities similar to this one?
That's right. They are pushing other facilities. The president said it, other states to open facilities like this. The president repeatedly said it. Even Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida encouraged other states to follow them. As to why they're opening a facility like this, the administration, much of the deportation campaign, the president's deportation campaign has been about optics, about intimidation, about pressuring undocumented migrants to self-deport, something that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem repeatedly said today. Also, Florida GOP, the party, is selling Alligator Alcatraz merchandise, pushing this. White House officials have repeatedly highlighted the dangerous wildlife around this facility, saying that.
I mean, they're selling merch, bro. Like, who gets that? Who gets that money? Who's allowed? Can you just make Alligator Alcatraz merchandise and just go out and sell it? If you do, will the state and the feds come after you? Like, what? Where does that money go? Like, you're gonna sell merchandise. Like, if when the time comes that I'll sell merchandise on this platform, that money will be for this platform, so we can get better cameras, better equipment, better studios, go do more things, so we can bring this product to those who want to consume it in different ways. Right? That's I get that, but you building a holding facility, you basically building a temporary jail. What's the merchandise for? Like, you selling merch to do what? Is that money going to go? Is all that money going to the state of Florida so they can pay for the guards and pay for the food and pay for the clothes? You're going to have to give them some clothes, right? When you lock them up, it's going to be like are they going to have the stripes? Are they going to have the orange, the jumpsuit? Like, and another question I would have too, like, if you self-deport, do you got to get processed there? Like, if you self-deport, do you got to get processed there? And how long does it take to get processed? Because if I'm gonna step forward and say, hey man, I'm here illegally, I'm gonna go on record so y'all can hold that against me when I try to get back into the country legally. Because the way I understand it, if you're in the country illegally and they catch you, I think it's like 7 years before you can come back. So if I'm gonna self-deport, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna sneak out the same way I snuck in so I can get in line faster, as opposed to, hey, I'm here illegally and I want to self-deport. Are y'all gonna send me to Alligator Alcatraz? Like, and if so, like, don't do that. Like, just leave. Just get out. Just figure out. Just go down. Get out the country the way you came in. If you cross the border, go cross the border again. Go through Texas. Get back into Mexico. And if you're not from Mexico, you point south and go on down there. This is crazy, man.
They think that it could act as a deterrence. I spoke to Ira Kurzban. He's a longtime immigration attorney based in Florida today, and he said that he thinks this facility is less about containing violent criminals and more about dehumanizing immigrants.
It's an effort to dehumanize people, period, because a lot of these people aren't undocumented. For example, Haitians who had been here and in many cases for years and years on TPS, all of a sudden are losing that TPS. They're going from legal status to, quote, illegal status. And remember that it's not a crime to be in the United States. You may be subject to deportation, but it's a civil offense. So what they want to do is ramp up civil detention of people.
Temporary protected status, that's that TPS that Ira is talking about. Now, that has been stripped from Haitians and other immigrants, and hundreds of thousands of immigrants have actually lost some form of legal status due to the Trump administration's efforts.
And Laura, I know you're also tracking the case involving Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man who was mistakenly deported initially to El Salvador Tell us about that and what his case says about the Trump administration's overall deportation agenda.
So there are some contradictions happening right now with the Trump administration's agenda. They have said repeatedly that they are seeking out violent criminals, public safety threats, and they have been zealously pursuing their prosecution of Abrego Garcia after bringing him back from El Salvador. But as they've been pursuing that, in their case against Garcia, recent court documents and reporting show that the Trump administration has agreed to release a 3-time felon from prison and agreed to not to deport him for at least a year in exchange for cooperation, in exchange for testimony against Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And also over the last few months, the Trump administration has worked to drop cases against MS-13 gang leaders while they've been pursuing their case against Abrego Garcia. Now, currently, Garcia is still in federal custody at the request of his lawyers because they're concerned that if he's released, the administration may pursue quick deportation proceedings.
And one last thing about the president's trip to Florida today. We heard him step up his threats to denaturalize his perceived political opponents. What more did he say?
Today, the president raised this 2 times during his trip to Florida, saying that he's open to denaturalization investigations into both billionaire Elon Musk as well as New York City Democratic mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani. And he was asked what he would do if Mamdani is actually elected and decides to not cooperate with ICE arresting undocumented immigrants. And this is what the president had to say.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. And a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. We're going to look at everything.
This dude, he's president of the United States, man. He got in there twice. The people who voted for him, they voted for him. It is what it is. You got a guy running for mayor in New York City, and he's doing really well. Why? Because people are tired of regular politicians. This is why Trump got in the office. People are tired of the regular politician. So now you have people, these offshoots, these folks, these underdogs who would never normally have a chance, have a shot, now doing really well. And they're beating the establishment. Like, they're beating the old school. Like, this guy beat out Cuomo. And, I didn't know who he was. I watched him on The Breakfast Club. His interview on The Breakfast Club went really well. If dude can do half of the stuff that he has set out to do, New York will love him. He's a New York guy. It's where he was born aside. The dude is a New Yorker. And, he's talking about free buses in New York, get the buses to run on time. I mean, think about it. Like, Mussolini came into power, bro, in Italy because he got the trains to run on time. So, and I'm not trying to compare him to Mussolini. I'm not trying to do that, right? But the point is, something that seems so very simple and basic, if you come in and you can square that away, like, hey, man, we can, we're going to have free buses for for everyone in New York, and we're going to make sure that we get the buses to run on time. Like, bro, they'll love you for it. And there's some other things that he's talking about doing in New York. I'm not a New York person. I'm not crazy about New York. I'll go to New York when I have to, but that's not a place. I got a buddy, my buddy Ty Barnett. He absolutely loves New York. He just all about New York. Not me. I'll go do some gigs, take care of business, and I get out of there. I love Miami. I'm the Miami guy. Like, bro, I'll go to Miami all day, bro. What's up? Go down there, just walk around, and I love everything about Miami except for South Beach. I don't like South Beach. I don't like the touristy spots. Like, I like the real spots, man. I like Doral. I like Kendall. I like Hialeah. I like, I like, going out to Brother Michael, what's that mall? Dayland too, but what's the mall in Doral? Is it the Doral Mall? No, it's the God doggy. Brother Michael, you here, man? I know you know what I'm talking about. And good evening to you, man. All is well on this end. We're doing fine. I hope you guys are doing well on your end. I already hit the holla button. She fine. I saw her on CNN as a talking head one day, and I was like, yo, one of the things I do when I watch these talking heads, when I watch, like the news people, I look at their hands. I look on that ring, feel like, who's married? And I saw that she was married. She has a hyphenated name though, And I'm like, that's the one thing, like, But no, she seems very sharp. You know, whenever I see her on the panels, like CNN or wherever, she does a really good job. But she's already married, bro. But I would agree with you. Yes, that's the type of woman. You know, just looking at her, just looking at her like, yeah, that's the type of woman I would love to want. I would want to holler at. But she may be a boss babe, bro. Dolphin Mall, thank you, bro. I knew you would do it. You know what I'm saying? That's a Don DeMarco right there, bro. Thank you very much, Dolphin Mall. Don DeMarco. Bro, I remember when I first moved to Miami back in 2009. I was living in Sweetwater, and they told me it was Doral, but it was really Sweetwater. And bro, I used to go to Dolphin Mall and just sit there on a Friday or a Saturday. There's a the food court area where the bar is, right there by Barnes and Nobles. I don't know if Barnes and Nobles is still there, but I would just sit there at the outside bar, and my goodness, bro, I was like, yeah, yeah. And then I started going to the Ale House, not the Miller Ale House, but the other one, because I was like just right down the street from there. And then I met so many cool people there, man. Like, I'm telling you, bro, Miami's my spot. I love Miami. 2 more years, my daughter will be graduating high school. Uncle Saint is going to Miami. And I will be coming up here. Thanks, brother Mike. Yeah, Dolphin Mall, bro. Dolphin Mall for sure. But yeah, man, but this guy is a New York guy. You know, it would be like me going down, well, not me because I'm an American, but you know, someone who kind of grew up in Miami, who was maybe from Cuba originally or someplace else and got into Miami politics and just knows Miami and, you know, wins an election, becomes mayor and is able to implement these things. See, that's the key. Like, this guy is fresh. No one knows who he is. They go back and look at the stuff he was doing. Like, he helped out in the Obama campaign. I think is when he said he first got into politics. And, you know, he's been growing, maturing as, you know, in the business, so to speak. And he got to a point where he's like, you know what? I think I want to do something. I want to run for mayor. America is a better country when regular folks are able to run for these offices. Like, if we had publicly funded elections, it would change the face of who goes and get these offices. But generally speaking, it costs so much money. In a place like, you know, New York, LA, it costs tens of millions of dollars to run to be a mayor, or to, you know, cost you millions of dollars to run for city council. So average folks normally get blocked out. And then, you know, here comes this dude from out of nowhere with some, you know, with some political experience and some friends, and he's able to, you know, get into the race. And then all of a sudden, boom, you know what I'm saying? Like, boom, like, dude just rocks it out. So I'm telling you, man. Boy, you used to work at Johnny Rockets, bro. You probably didn't see me, man, because I used to always go into Johnny Rockets, which is right there by the bar I was talking about, and get myself a chocolate shake, bro. Used to always go in there, but this was back in 2009 and 10, so you probably wasn't there. But yeah, man, I know exactly where you used to work, bro. You know what I mean? Brother Jimmy's at Dolphin Mall. I do not remember Brother Jimmy's. I do not. We got Joe Cool in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you, bro. We talking about Alligator Alcatraz, man. Like, down here, bro. Like I said at the top of this program, bro, somebody just made a lot of money. $450 million is the estimated budget. This is from FEMA. That's going to be like the annual budget for this Alligator Alcatraz thing. And man, that's a lot of money for a bunch of trailers and some fencing. That's a lot of money. Like, you know, I know you got to get your guards. And that's another thing too. Will these guards be armed? The ones inside, certainly not, but the ones outside guarding the perimeter, will they be armed? Bro, I got so many questions, bro. So use the dishwasher, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, that's another thing too, man. Like, people don't be afraid to hustle, man. Like, it's the guys like Brother Michael and myself and Brother Joe Cool. I'm pretty sure he knows how to hustle too. Like, the guys who've been out here and actually got their hands dirty and actually had to go out here and do this work. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my brother, when we talk about, like, when we go out trying to get contracts and stuff like that, we talk about, yeah, we'll take the shit work that most people stay away from. We got no problem getting that. Like, we got no problem taking, a contract on a janitorial contract or a contract to come in, like dig ditches or whatever. We got no problem doing that. A contractor just drive around, drop stuff off, pick stuff up. We don't have a problem doing that because we old school. Like, man, we'll build ourselves all the way up to where we need to be. And it can be done. There's so much money out here. But the thing is, like stuff like this, $450 million every 12 months to run this facility. $450 million. Bro, I guarantee you there will be no one on site making more than, I think the most that they will pay someone is probably like the top tier management. They might be making 60, 70, 80 grand maybe, but everyone else is going to be well under that, because everything is going to be contracted out. The contractors are going to get the money and then they're going to just divvy out the crumbs to the regular folks out there trying to work, man. So, bro, we might have crossed trails, man, because I got there in 2009 and I would go to Dolphin Mall a lot from 2009 to 2010. So, bro, we probably saw each other walking past each other back in the day, man. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. It's funny how that works. But small world, bro. Small world. We telling folks, the world ain't as big as you think it is, especially with this technology, bro. We be crossing each other's paths all the time. We just don't know it. But that's what's up, man. That's cool. I was right there, bro, sitting at the bar, drinking pina coladas, man, paying a grip for them pina coladas. You know that bar, they overcharge you, bro, but I didn't care. Like, let me get a pina colada. I made my friends. They started hooking me up. I would buy one, they give me one, that type thing. But yeah, man, like this Alligator Alcatraz thing, man, somebody's going to make a grip of money. It just so many contracts. Like, again, they got to go from these temporary trailer situation things to a more permanent thing, which means they're going to be building buildings. We're going to see how this plays out, bro. We're going to see how this plays out. But let's get back to the very attractive news lady on PBS.
This comes also as the Justice Department made public this week that they are intending to prioritize denaturalization investigations into a number of immigrants. Jeff?
Laura Barone-Lopez. Laura, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So Trump is doing this thing, man. Like, America has put a guy in office who wants to test the boundaries of presidential power. Like, this dude's like, whatever. He wants to, he wants to move like a monarch. He wants to move like a king. And this is only going to hurt him and the Republican Party. This big, beautiful bill thing that managed to get through the Senate, right, with the vice president had to vote to get this thing through. So the Republicans was one vote away from this thing dying in the Senate. And whoever that vote is, whoever that Republican is right now is thinking about it. And it goes back to the House. So we're going to see what the Republicans in the House, what they do, right? So, politically, man, people are really starting to see what's up on both sides. You got like the real Republicans are like, man, I can't stomach this anymore. The MAGA people who just don't know what they're doing. Like, MAGA folks are just on tangents. Like, we saw what happened in Iran, right? There's a lot of MAGA people that didn't like that. It's supposed to be the guy who didn't want to fight wars. Ukraine just sent a bunch of kamikaze drones to hit some factories, some war factories, and deep inside of Russia. That's on the news right now, just blowing stuff up. And the funny thing is, when you watch the film, when you watch the videos, there are no air raid alarms or nothing. Like, the Russians just keep working. There should be alarms. There should be air raids. Like, that these drones are coming. Sound the alarm so those people can get out the building, because the Ukrainians ain't trying to get people. They're trying to get the factories and the stuff that they're building. They're trying to knock that stuff out, right? But here's the thing. I thought Ukraine and Russia was listening to Trump and they weren't supposed to be doing nothing right now. So, Putin's going to retaliate. Or were the Ukrainians retaliating for something that Putin did? Right? You got China sitting there. There's satellite photos out there. They're showing some waterborne craft, like boats, some sort of, is that a boat? Is that a ferry? What's that for? Like, are they looking at ways to get, some sort of sneak attack on Taiwan? If I'm China, this is the time to do it. People can see that Donald Trump is so underwater. Like, his popularity numbers are way down, way even before like when he was doing his first term. His approval numbers are below that. So and dude's just trying to he's getting a good dose of what it means to be the president of the United States, bro, and to be surrounded by a bunch of yes people. Like he doesn't know what to do. Yeah, and it's just crazy. Like this is crazy. And Brother Michael's like, Saint, she is a natural, no weave, no hair hats, no piercings, no tattoos, and definitely not talking ratchet. Well, here's the thing, bro. Like she could have some tattoos on her shoulder. You know, a lot of women like her, she'll have like small tattoos. They'll have small tattoos that can be covered up with jewelry, back of the neck, base of the neck there, because the hair will cover it up. But here's my thing with tattoos. Right? Just so long as they're not crazy all over the place, like tattoos going up your neck, on your face, and all that, sleeves. I don't like that. Like I have 5 tattoos. You guys may have seen them a handful of times with me doing podcasts, right? If I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt or something like that, and the only way to see the other one is if I take my shirt off completely. So you got to be, if I'm going swimming somewhere, you might see it. But I mean, I don't have a problem with tattoos just so long as it's not over the top crazy. And when I talk to women with tattoos, I like to know why they got them. I'll ask, I'll sit there like, well, what does that tattoo represent? Why did you get that? And then they tell me like, I don't know, I was just drunk one night. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that tells me a lot. But no, I agree with you, man. Like she's definitely the prototype. When she is absolutely a very lovely woman. Like she's wearing some looks like some Van Cleef earrings. That little tennis necklace she's wearing, that is not cheap. I can't see her hands. I mean, I know she has a wedding ring. She has a really nice stone. Looks like a 2 carat, maybe 2 carat plus. I didn't see it on this interview, but I saw it. Like I said, I've seen her on as a talking head on different platforms. But this seems like a very sharp woman. Like she was serious about, probably took journalism in school, came out, had to, get out there in the trenches and earn her wage. Like she's a White House correspondent. Like that's hard to get to. She had to do what she had to do to get there. A lot of hard work behind that. And it sounds like she got a good guy. And I mean, I don't know anything about this woman. Don't even know her name, but I'm willing to bet $1 to a donut that her husband was with her when she was in college, like when she was first getting started and they decided to grow together. I would be willing to bet anything on that. Now, I could be wrong. She could have met the guy recently and like found herself a good dude with money because, a lot of women, because she's successful, but correspond, like the news folks, they don't start making a lot of money till the tail end of their career. So, but, she ain't out here with common folk neither. So, and she's rubbing elbows with 1%ers and 5%ers and 10%ers. So she might have just found herself a good dude. Like, me and you looking at her like, yo, check her out. She's fine. You get a chance to take her out and she's down to earth and she's cool. And it's like you said, bro, she don't have the big Venus flytrap things in her eyes. I mean, her hair, it's not crazy. She's not wearing a ton of makeup. I'm willing to bet the only makeup she has on is the makeup that they put on her when she got to the studio. They had the makeup artist come over and just put a little makeup on you for the cameras. Because everybody's running like these, high def cameras and whatnot. You got to put the makeup on a certain way. Yeah. I mean, whenever I meet a woman that seems to be like this, I can have a good conversation with. That's what I look for. Just a good conversation. I ain't looking for nothing beyond that. And of course, if it goes down that path, great. But that's not. When I go out, I see someone, have a good conversation. We can speak on some stuff. And then I'm happy, man. I'm ready to go on about my business. So we're definitely going to talk. Next time I go live, we're going to be talking about what's going on with dating out here, bro. Like a lot of women are really starting to feel the effects of all the negativity that's coming from social media and stuff like that, bro. A lot of negativity. And it's catching up. And again, one of the things I want these young guys to know, but all men to know, but especially the young guys, what you're seeing online does not represent the average woman. It doesn't represent the average woman. The average woman ain't doing that. You got to go find her. And it seems like, man, it's so hard to find her. I'm looking for her. But, got to look for her in better places, bro. Like what I do now, I'm around a lot of people. I'm forced to see a whole bunch of folks. Like, I'm working for one of the rental car spots. So I'm not customer service. I'm doing something else. Like I deal with the vehicles, but I see the people. I see the married couples. I see the young folks. I see the ones who are happy. I see the ones who are not happy. I see the boss babes. I see them, and I see the women who are successful and lonely. I see them. There's nothing more lonely than seeing some woman with all her stuff, right, trying to, get to a vehicle, knowing she has no one to go home to, no one to talk to. Like, you see the ones who are out there doing their thing and they, they're constantly talking to people, and then you see the ones who are just, it's like she's gone her own way. MGTOW for women. You know what I mean? WGTOW. So, and it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. You see the ones who are looking for attention. I could tell y'all stories. I've only been there a little bit, and I've already seen some craziness. Just craziness. I had a woman ask me, like, please, can you help me with this? She couldn't do something, and I walked over, did it 30 seconds. And she looks at me, don't tell me you've already fixed it. I'm like, yep, I did. Take care. Bye. I was out of there. She was like, I can't believe it. Her daughter was standing there laughing. Right? It's crazy, man. Like, you can see it. Like, society is at a crossroads right now. And there are a lot of women out there who are attractive and nice. There are a lot of nice women out there. It's the ones that I've found that are really, really nice are the ones that are in relationships or like really young and just kind of enjoying themselves. And then, you got the ones who are on the other side of that, and they're not so nice, bro. They're not so nice. And, like, beauty fades, bro. They talk about the wall. Beauty fades. This ain't nothing new. Women have known this forever. If you are relying on your looks, you are in trouble. Like, if you're going to rely on your looks, you better get what you're trying to get early on. So we're going to talk about this next week. We're going to do a whole show dedicated to the videos that we see out there. Plus, I know that's what, a lot of us we like to see that. We like to talk about it. Yeah, those, yeah, man, those bad eyes, man, those wings, yeah, those lashes, the makeup. Like, even the women I talk to, I tell them, like, hey, you don't need makeup. You don't need it. You just don't need it. You don't need makeup. You don't need all that makeup. And they're like, oh, I'm just letting you know. The guys that you want, the top tier dudes, the dudes that you trying to get at, don't care about the makeup. They want to see you. They don't want to see what you made up to be. But yeah, man, that's Alligator Alcatraz, bro. Alligator Alcatraz. I don't know if this thing is going to be around a whole year. It might be. I don't know. I suspect that there's going to be some funny business with getting the money out of FEMA. And I think DeSantis is going to be upset and, kind of just let the thing die. But keep in mind that there's somebody behind all this, there's someone behind it. There's a businessman behind all this who is making a play and is hoping to get some bread. Like I said, if he can get this contract and get 10% off that $450 million, he's good. He's good. I mean, think about it. They went like 5 days, slapped this thing together, and they're looking at a $450 million annual contract. Wow. How much is that a month, bro? That's a lot of zeros. That's a lot of zeros. And old boy said, the guy at the desk was saying that it's not illegal to be in America undocumented. It's not a crime within itself, but I'm pretty sure it is a misdemeanor. So I looked it up real quick. We're going to have to get into that as well. But when you come into the country, like when you enter the country without going through a port of entry, I'm pretty sure that is a crime. But we're going to have to get into that. We're going to have to get into that. And anybody who's watching this on Team Replay, let me know in the comments below. Shoot me a link where I can find the answer. I want the definitive answer. But I just asked AI real quick. It's like being in the United States without legal permission, meaning as an undocumented immigrant, is not a crime in itself, but it can lead to various legal consequences. While simply being present without authorization is a civil violation, okay, and not a crime, civil violation and not a crime, it can become a criminal offense if the person has previously been deported and returns without permission. Okay. So the civil violation, is that another way of saying misdemeanor? and the misdemeanor is breaking the law, right? So, and then it goes into detailed information. The civil violation, the act of being in the U.S. without legal status is primarily a civil violation of immigration law. So it is a crime. It's the word salad that gets me. It is a crime. It's against the rules, right? But they're probably saying, instead of using felony and misdemeanor, they're saying civil offense. And then they're saying, so it's not necessarily a crime, which I guess they would count as a felony. And it says here, it becomes a criminal offense if someone re-enters the U.S. illegally after being previously deported. Now, I'm pretty sure if you enter illegally, that's a crime. Consequences: undocumented immigrants can face various consequences, including detention, deportation, and potential bans from re-entering the country. Okay. And then, of course, we got increased prosecution is going on right now. And then it gets into the whole, what do you call those sanctuary cities and sanctuary states and stuff like that. So, all right. So that's that. What was I going to do? I was going to pull up something. See what happens when you get old, man. You just can't think. So, yeah, I was going to look up how much $450 million is, how much of that budget a month? 450,000,000. That's $450 million divided by 12. $37,500,000 a month. A month. So the monthly budget on that $450 million facility, Alligator Alcatraz, that FEMA allegedly is going to be paying, reimbursing the state. You're looking at $37,500,000 every month. Damn. So that's going to be on the state of Florida books until the feds reimburse the state of Florida. What if the feds don't do it? So, but there's a lot of money to be made here, guys. Y'all see what it is. It's a lot of money to be made here. A lot. A whole lot. Right? And with that big, beautiful bill that just got passed through the Senate, with the help of the vice president, to pass it was 50-50, and his vote was the tiebreaker. It goes back to the House of Representatives. We'll see what happens in the House. And bro, I'm here to tell you, like, so many Americans are going to get hurt in that. Like, the people who need it, people like Medicare, Medicaid, people who get money, like, for, welfare recipients, folks who get money. Is a lot of those folks voted, for Donald Trump. A lot of those folks are MAGA. And even the political insiders are telling them, like people like Bannon are like, yo, it's a lot of people on Medicare, and it's going to get cut. It's going to get cut. A lot of people on Medicaid, and it's going to get cut. There's a lot of people who are getting food stamps, or, the debit card for food stamps. That's going to get cut. FEMA, the very agency that Florida is counting on to reimburse them the $37.5 million a month is going to be spending on this detention facility. FEMA has been cut, and it continues to get cut. So where's that money going to come from? Allegedly, there's provisions in that bill that are going to help pay for these facilities that are popping up all over America. Well, not the facilities aren't popping up, but the detainees are popping up all over America. And, these local cities and these states have to pay for that. And the last question I have, too, is, will there be any judges there? Like, when these people they're at this facility being held, do they have to be transported to court? Or are they going to run audio, video stuff in there so they can get their day in court while still being at the facility? That's going to cost a lot of money just to run the equipment to do this. I mean, it takes money to, to do something like this. We're going to have the camera set up so the judge can preside over, these proceedings to give the order of deportation. What judges are going to be doing this? Aren't the judges already swamped and we don't have enough of them? You see what I mean? There's so many questions that need to be answered. And $37,500,000 a month to run the facility, one facility in Florida that can hold up to 5,000. That's what the news is reporting. But DeSantis says it holds 1,000 and then it can hold up to 2,000 more. And then he starts talking about another off-site facility somewhere, a National Guard place. So can it hold 5,000? And will it be men, women, and children? Will it be whole families? What's going on? I got a lot of questions. There's a lot of money to be made out there. Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made out there. There's going to be a lot of contracts out there, guys. It's going to be a lot of money. People are going to be bidding on these contracts. If you're one of those folks and you're bidding, you know how to bid, please hit me up. Let me know because I need to talk to y'all. Because that sam.gov is a real thing. Hit me up. There's my Instagram right there, guys. I really want to know podcast. That's my Instagram. Hit me up. If you guys know anything about bidding for contracts and stuff like that, I know what y'all thinking. It's like, yo, Uncle Sam's about to bid for that Alligator Alcatraz. No, I don't want to be there. One of my homeboys was telling me about it. Like, man, is it going to be like in the movie Scarface when they came over with the boat lift or whatever? Is it going to be like that? And I'm like, yeah, I think it's going to be like that, but it's going to be in a swamp. You know what I mean? And of course, it's going to be updated for modern times. And sure enough, there are the fences and there are the bunk beds. And, are they going to let them go outside and walk? Is it going to be like a yard, like a court? Like how's that going to work? How many guards? Like what type of staff do you need to run that type of facility? What's the ratio of, guard to detainee? And what? I got so many questions, guys. So many questions. I'm going to be chopping this up into shorts. Be looking for that this week. I'm going to chop this up into shorts and put them out there because I really want to know. And at the end of it all, I really want to know who makes the most money off of this, man, because that's $450 million is going to be spent over the next 12 months by the state of Florida and or the federal government and back and forth. And look, DeSantis and his team then already been looked at for some shadiness down here when it comes to money. So this is going to be, there's going to be more journalists coming down here, investigative journalists chasing the money, trying to figure out what's going on. Trust me, guys, they're going to catch somebody with their hand in the cookie jar. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Alligator Alcatraz, guys. I think it's overkill. I don't think we need to do it. I don't think we need to do sweeps. I think all we need to do is work with the IRS, find out everyone who has these ITN numbers or wherever, go find them, go catch them, go in the courtroom, ride along with law enforcement. You catch people who are undocumented and you figure out, oh, that's how you get them. It takes more time, but doing these sweeps and, going to job sites, man, that's going to hurt business in America. There are a lot of TikToks out there with MAGA guys, business owners, like construction guys are like, yeah, my company, my business is ruined because all they had were undocumented workers, migrants working for them, and they were making tons of money. Now they ain't making no money because their workers are like leaving. Like, man, we can't be here, bro. We ain't trying to get snatched, man. We out. So these guys, these MAGA guys, like, I voted for Trump, but you're supposed to go after the criminals. Why are you just going after these hardworking people? Like, come on, bro. Did you really think that he was just going to, did y'all really think of that many undocumented criminals in America? Like, come on now. Stop it. Stop it. Now you know. Now you know. And no one's half the battle. Right? Yo, Joe. So anyway, I got to go. Thank y'all for rocking out with me. Brother Joe Cool, Brother Michael, man, thank you so much, man. Appreciate y'all rocking out with me. Nighties, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. I'm going to shoot for lives on Tuesday around this time, like 8 o'clock East Coast time. I'm going to shoot for that. And I'm going to try to get it going again, guys. We're going to try to get everybody to come through. Get Brother Dino to come check in, let us know what's going on over in UK, man. like Brother Michael, man, Brother Jay, but everybody. We're going to try to get everybody back in here. So we're going to build it back up, bro. So I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for rocking out with me. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.